So we're taking off to leave the canyon, and because we ended up going farther yesterday than we planned, we're now leaving a day earlier than we planned. But there's so much stuff up top we want to do that this is a good thing. And then we're going to use a campsite that's about 1.25 kilometers down from the rim as our place to sleep tomorrow.
No, today.
Oh yeah, tonight. So we got away 4 minutes earlier in camp pack up. It was less than an hour this time. And we're doing this whole thing on I could get up, have a drink of water, and carry water with us, and that's all we consume. So our bodies are currently concentrating on putting out energy and not digesting food. It looks so close from here. A little way up the trail. That's actually a long way. It's almost 2,000 feet up. Oh, we've been sleeping well the last couple of nights. First night, horrible storm, then it got really cold, and we had to pack up just above 0 degrees. We thought it was 10, which was the forecast, but Jenny now recalls some signs it was much colder, and that includes the fact that I still had a numb finger from the cold by lunchtime that day. And last night was quite warm. Oh, we're climbing quite well. So I think we'll check in a little later on the trip. So we're looking at these hoodoos.
They're not hoodoos.
What are they?
Oh, maybe.
And they all have rocks balanced on the top of them. It's just the way the erosion works. The little rock there won't erode and everything under it does. Randomness in nature, or it just looks too organized. Yeah, you wouldn't want to fall down that gully. Section, we believe is referred to as the hat shop, and it's a very appropriate name for it. So basically this is just after sunup. So the hat shop is in the shade, unfortunately. It's probably really neat late in the day.
Here's the hat shop, and this is we're hiking up to Bryce Point. As they come up, and I don't think this is a top. Behind you, that big wall is your top. Yeah.
Next segment, let's go.
We have a 4.5, I think it's 4.5 kilometer street up to 8,000, about 8,200 feet high. We are started like a 6,900, about that high. Then we're gonna go up to 8,200. So that's the wall we're probably gonna go on. This is the side. And this is the hats. They called hat shop. I wasn't sure, I thought it was a real shop there. This is amazing. Look at that rock. I just love this place. It's Dave taking pictures.
So we stopped here. Take a look. In the distance there, right in the center of the screen, there's a bit of orange rock, and that is the hat shop. So we walked down there and then went all along the trail that came along, and it's done, you can't see it here, but it did quite a climb to come up to this point. And then we keep going. And we brought over 4 liters of water, which is quite heavy, but it was a 4.8 kilometer hike, uphill, strenuous.
4.5.
But, oh yeah, 4.5. And after a while we decided we weren't going to get through all that water. And if you show up at the top of the trail with 1 of the liters of water is still one that we got at a drinking fountain before we came down day before yesterday, there's just something wrong in theory with hauling the water all that way, including all the way up at the end. So we washed our hands and washed our face and finally dumped the last half liter. And we got 2 liters, which is quite heavy enough. So you can see this trail. Oh, there's a search and rescue helicopter up above us. We think he's just patrolling for forest fires and stuff. Anyway, this climb is quite continuous. Oh, it's not. Oh, look at that. We got a level spot. Oh, good. It turns out the toughest pieces of hiking yield the absolute best experiences and views. The people up at the top get off the bus, look over the guardrail, and get a narrated explanation. They just don't get this. And wildlife. We got to our campsite last night and found the warning about the mountain lion and how to respond if attacked. They said for the most part it just wants to run away. But we went for a walk up and down the river and saw a lot of footprints. Then finally we saw some huge animals, but they seem to be 4 lost cattle. I'm sure they don't allow them to graze here. They just somehow got in the park. But we did realize running up and down the creek would mean that you're going to go to the place where all of the animals are drawn to. So maybe not the safest walk to go on. So we cut yesterday's walk in the creek a little short, and we just walked down the trail. And it's amazing what you miss when you're hiking with a backpack on. You go back down the trail in the evening as a casual walk, and we found all these really cool little cactuses hidden away, and got to really look at the plants and think about how nature was working in that drought. So we're partway up to Bryce Point. It's sort of the end of the heavily touristed part. This is the backcountry. This is all the backcountry. That cliff way off in the distance, if you follow twice as far to the right as you can see, that's Magnificant Pass, and that's where we camped our first night. So we're now with 1.5 kilometers to go, and the ridge really is looking closer. Oh, look at that blue sky. That is so rich blue. Hope it comes out in the camera. So, guess we have to keep going.
Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Don't go too close.
This is one of those things people strain at the top with maybe binoculars to see. And we're practically touching it.
You turn around. Don't go over the edge.
Yes, it's a big danger.
If you don't,
You get too close to the edge, and you can so easily topple back from concentrating on the horizon.
take a picture of me.
Okay. So the part in the background there is the amphitheater, where there's just a huge field of hoodoos. Our car is parked off to the left, just past the little outcropping there. So basically we have to go up to there, 1 kilometer of trail, then over to our car, 3 kilometers of paved bicycle trail. So what do you think, Jenny? How do you feel doing this huge hike on an empty stomach, having just got up in the morning?
Great.
It's a lot easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our bodies know they've got to burn fat. That's where they're getting their energy. There's nothing else, just water. So, just waiting for breakfast to do its final cook. I'm just sitting here and just wait till I get this camera around and see what I'm looking at. I tell you, I worked up a good appetite. I was surprised to find that my fitness monitor showed only 1,200 calories to go. It's getting on for 2,000 feet up from the bottom campsite up to the rim. But when I configured everything, I put my weight in. I didn't put the weight of the backpack, and that's half of what we struggle with on these trips, is carrying this backpack up the hills. You find your breath is taken from you a lot faster when you're hauling an extra 30 pounds up. The other thing is we're at almost 9,000 feet, so my body's not used to this altitude. What to do when you're waiting for breakfast to cook? Well, you put your cushion on the ground, you sit up against a tree, and you look out over a magnificent vista. Early morning, Bryce Canyon National Park. So here we are going up round. We appear to be up high. Maybe this is the top. There's some more canyon wall over there through the trees. And there's kind of where we came from. Ah! I see a bus parked over there. Aha! There's cars parked there. Is this the trail? It must be. So, looks like we have some horizontal walking to do, but we've done the climb.
Yay!
I didn't have a lot of energy.